All right, yo. Okay, it's been a while since I did any type of update on, like my books and stories and stuff. Um, I guess like for the most part, I've made the most progress with the Vigil verse. That's been the only thing I've been really focusing on. Peppermint Academy is still on hold. Like I don't know when I'm gonna really get back to that. Like I had, let me see. Hold on. I don't know what this. Phone ringing. Ah, shit. Anyway, I had uh I had done some stuff a while back, kind of updating some of the characters, but other than that, I haven't done anything else for Peppermint Academy. I mainly was trying to get the moves and things together and getting a little bit of background together about certain characters. So I could remember like where they came from, how their powers work, things like that. The Etherin verse, that's kinda on hold, so to speak, I guess. Like I worked on something like probably back in November, and that was when I was making some updates to some of the guides and things like that. Because I've decided to add a few more stories to that universe. And so because like there were like I think two stories I was working on, and at first I was gonna create a totally different universe to put those stories in, but then I decided that they fit more with the Etherin verse. So I'm working them into that. I just got to kind of update some more things, mainly within the stories. Um, but yeah, the Vigil verse is what I've been working on for the most part. Like before I go into the notes, I'm gonna go here into my writing exercises because I've been working on, of course, the writing exercises for Chantrice. Special Invite and Battle Lust are both still being written. Um, as you can see, I made some changes. These actually weren't big changes when I made changes during December the 18th, but I think I might have edited like a few words and stuff like that and changed the name of some powers or something. Um, as well as changed the title. Because it was supposed to have been different as far as those first four go. So that's why they were edited on the 18th and the other two were edited on the 5th. Special Invite is, well, it's pretty long right now, and I honestly don't know when I'm going to complete this because it is 5,000. Well, you see how many words it is. Like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna make changes to that. This is not exactly that long. It's what, yeah. Wouldn't take me long to get to 2,000 though. Once I can really think of where I want to go with it. Most of these, again, are just writing exercises, so they're not stories that are, I guess, not expressly meant to be taken seriously, but they're more so, they're me just trying out ideas, things that I do want to do in future stories. So I'm testing them out, through here, just to see how well they land with other people. And so that's why they're really just writing exercises. It's so that I don't have to really just mess up with a story I plan to do within the actual anthology. Um, that's mainly what these writing exercises are for. Uh, that's the Etherin verse writing exercise. Where am I at on that? Close to 2,000 on that. When I finish it, it might end up being 7,000, depending on how long it takes. Um, got a lot of other things I'm working on. Um, I'm a little bit tired, so you have to pardon me if I keep like just going a lot. uh, this story right here was really not supposed to be real long, but then after I decided to come up with with a series called the All Star what was it? The All Star Well, I mean, right here it says the All Star Amateur Pack, but I don't believe that's what that book is called. I got to go back and look. But right now, this story is getting up there. Um, like I said, it only ended up becoming long after, I decided I wanted to do another anthology, and it's not in here. Where did I put it at? No way, I know where it's at. Yeah, here you go. Yeah. The All Star Action Pack Amateur Pack. That's what that is. And it is based on the team I have called the All Star Misadventures or Misadventurers. I forgot. um, I guess I really wanted to talk about this. This is what I wanted to talk about. Uh, the the Automatic Adventures of Dexter Seagrave. Um, I updated this. When was that? That was March 5th. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago when I updated it. But I have 3 volumes planned out right now, and I'm still working on the first volume, but it's not gonna take me long to get through it. But each one has different subtitles because I've been thinking about storylines for like years. The only thing is that I just have to really sit down and work on the stuff. There's been so much going on lately that I haven't been able to focus the way I want to. And so I had gotten back into music. That's what I had really gotten back into, working on music. But in the times when I'm not working on any songs or anything, if I come up with an idea, I jot that down. Just so that when I do get back to my stories, I'll be able to just go. I won't have to, I guess be racking my brain about certain things. And so I updated some of the characters as far as Dexter's anthology goes. Of course, you see there's Dexter, there's Zuri, there's Sinead. I really need to move Professor Baker from being a main character because I want to introduce a different scientist, to be the one that Dexter works with. Like right now, Professor Baker is somebody that I guess is close to Dexter and Sinead simply because of Chantrice. But he's supposed to be primarily a main character in the stories that Chantrice has. Um, so Professor Baker will factor into like maybe the first 2 arcs of Volume 1, but in the third arc and then in Volume 2 and Volume 3, I'm gonna introduce somebody else. Like I really wish I had written this idea down because I had thought of something one night when I was laying down, but just like now with me being a little drowsy, I was entirely too tired to get up and put it down. All I would have had to do was just, type it into my phone, but I just, said, okay, I'll remember it in the morning. And when I woke up, I had forgotten it. But it might have been meant for me to forget it. I probably would come up with a much better idea. But those are the main protagonists. Then there are a lot of antagonists. And the reason why there are so many main characters as far as the antagonist goes is because a lot of these people will be stretched out over all 3 volumes. Like most of the Takarians will factor into the first arc of Volume 1. They'll be in the second arc and partially in the third arc. But by the times Volume 2 and Volume 3 roll around, the Takarians won't really be a thing simply because they'll mostly been either eradicated or locked up. The Takarians are going to spread over different series, though. They started in Chantrice from the East because they factor into the stories that Dexter has as well as Chantrice. And then from there, they'll be in the Safeguards. They will be in Vigilance. What else would they be in? The Fanciful Force. Like some of these books and stuff, series that I want to do, I really want to do them as comic books, because some stuff just isn't gonna work as novels or even anthologies. Like right now, because of what I've been doing as far as Chantrice and Dexter go, um, yeah, those will work out as anthologies. But even the future adventures, I might have to turn around and turn those into maybe a mix between, a novel and a comic book or something like that, or a graphic novel and a regular novel. Like have some written passages and some illustrated passages. I thought about doing that because there are some stories that it's impossible for me to describe everything that would be going on or do it accurately. Um, but as you can see, there's no shortage of villains for Dexter. Um, some of the ones that are already my favorite villains, even though I haven't used them much. There's Doc Mordecai. There's I can't even remember how to pronounce this name, and I came up with it, but I think it's Hexarai. I think that's the way it's supposed to be. It's either Hexarai or Hexaray. And Southclaw, which is a play on the word Southpaw, is the principal at their school. Um, Hexaray is their math teacher, Miss Bloodwort. Uh, and of course, Doc Mordecai is the person who kidnapped Dexter and experimented on him to create, these kind of like Eclipse hybrids. People that really didn't have an Eclipse gene at first, but they ended up getting one based on Doc Mordecai stealing blood samples. Well, not stealing, but getting blood samples from Dexter. Um, Again, I'm still working all that out. It was an idea I came up with, but like I said, over the months and over the years, a lot of the ideas I came up with back then, I've been reworking. Like some stuff I just completely got rid of and I'm not going to use. Um, Other things I'm letting it stay because I'm too deep in to really just go back and change everything. So it'll just stay right now, but it won't be permanent. That's all I'll say. Let's see, Overrun. That's another favorite. Divorce. Um, of course, Lord Omega. And fun fact, Lord Omega started out as a character that was going to be in a Spider-Man fanfic I was working on in high school. But like with everything, whenever I create a character for something else, I decide I want to keep that character for myself. Instead of using it, in that type of fashion. So Lord Omega became one of the main villains of the Vigilverse. And like right now he's in the background, but he pops up here and there. A lot of people have seen him. Some folks don't know his name. Most people don't know his actual face because whenever he pops up, he's wearing his mask. It's a crystal mask that's made to look a little bit like a skull. Um, and so you can't see through it. Um, that mask was originally going to be gold. That's what it originally was going to be. But of course, things change, ideas and stuff like that. Um, but I know that I am going to have fun when I actually do introduce the character the way I wanted to introduce him. Um, and let's see who else. I need to see where am I at right now. Damn, I've been talking 14 minutes, and I don't feel like I've said anything. Let's see. I think I might have mentioned Lil Mama Vo. Well, I didn't mention her. I skipped over her. I can't wait to introduce her. There's a story she's going to factor in, which is going to be in the first volume. The Patria. They're going to be, of course, as you can see, in volume 2. And all of their names are kind of plays on celebrities, or not even really just plays on them. They're close to them. Like Janelle, that's Janelle Monae. Sasha is based off of Beyonce's alter ego, and Elizabeth Lynn Harvey is based off of well, I can't remember that girl name. Um, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, Lori Harvey. Yeah, she's based off of her. Um, but the Patria is like this kind of feminist group that saw something Dexter said online, and they're gonna come after him about it. Now, there's another character I have down here, Vivacious. She's also going to show up in that same arc where Dexter says something and she finds out about it and she comes after him. But she's not a feminist. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a showdown between Dexter and Vivacious and the Patria, but the Patria are also going to be fighting against Vivacious. She's pretty much going to make an enemy out of a lot of people. Now, the Rainsway Mafia, I've made up those guys recently. When I was working on another story, I had decided to do another anthology, and so I came up with these three characters. There's Joseph, there's Carrie, and Kirk. There's a Hispanic guy, Asian guy, and a white guy, and they were beating up on some homeless people. Dexter decided to try to, help out the homeless people and got himself involved in some shit that he wish he hadn't got himself involved in. He didn't really realize that these guys were as powerful as they are. And so that was the main thing with those characters. I haven't finished the story yet, so got some way to go on that. Now, Penelope Silverthorne was originally supposed to be a secondary character. But because I had already mentioned that there was something that went on between her and Dexter before the series even started, I decided to make her a main character and a main antagonist. And originally, she wasn't supposed to have powers. But, I like I said, I've been reworking a lot of things. And so she's now going to have powers. I just don't know what powers. That's the only thing I don't know. I'm not sure yet. And you see you had the secondary characters. People that are not going to be in the story all the time. However, I feel like I might move the safeguards up to main characters instead of secondary. Because groundwork, inflection, upshift, and well, really the whole team, they're all going to factor into a lot of Dexter stories, mainly because Dexter is being trained by groundwork, impervious, inflection, and upshift. But I haven't gotten to that point within Dexter's story yet. But like I said, these are things that are already planned out. So let's see. What else do I have? Those are just the characters right now. And like I said, in the planned arcs, the volumes, I really plan to end this series of Dexter's after, these 3 volumes. I just got to sit down and write and hopefully draw some stuff. So let's see. What else do we have? I'm still working on Convergence. Right now, I just had the characters together for that because I took Convergence all the way back to the beginning. I had to kind of just deconstruct that whole thing and just like rip out a lot of stuff that I had came up with, mainly because what I had wrote was clashing with what I'm currently writing because I had forgotten things I had already established. So now I got to try to match all that together. But that's not going to take long. The only thing I hate is that I will have to rewrite a whole lot of things and, take out some dialogue that I liked. But it's no biggie. I can come up with something better. Um, let's see. Chantry's from the East. I made a slight update to this the other day. Uh, Mostly adding some characters and updating the names of certain characters. Um, Chantry's has her own, antagonist, but for the most part, like I said, a lot of enemies are shared across, the stories and the various series I plan to do. Like I said, the Takarians are in both Chantry's and Dexter's books right now, but like I said, will also be in Fanciful Force. I think I said Vigilance, and I said the Safeguards. And honestly, I believe I might add them into Conviction as well, which is the series for what do I call him now? I don't forget what I called him. He used to be called Father Justice, but I think I gave him a different name now. Um, but yeah, I'm still putting everything together. Um, I gotta move Penelope from down here too, because she's not gonna be an additional character. She's gonna be a main character and a main enemy for Chantrice as well. Um, let's get out of here though. Um, I went back to work on New Aves 2040, and I have these main characters now. Now see this story obviously from what you see. I just realized there's a typo in here. The fuck. Um, it's something I never noticed at first. But this story is set in the future, and it's an alternate universe or alternate timeline, really. And in this future, Chantrice has lost an arm. Dexter is a bad guy. Sinead is dead. Um, some other people, after a certain virus was released, and this virus was something I came up with way before COVID happened. And so, like, I had this story arc plan, where there was going to be something called the Eclipse virus. And it was going to end up giving some people who never had powers. It was going to take powers away from some other people. And with a few folks that were, super powered, it was going to switch their identity, so to speak. Like, it would make good guys bad, bad guys good. And so, in this alternate timeline, though, some of the people who got turned bad ended up staying bad. So, like, Upshift is now a character called Blitzware. After his mind was changed when he got infected with the Eclipse virus. Um, I still don't have all this stuff together the way I want to, so I'm I can't really fully explain it, but that's why I have this thing on here. So if you're reading this while I'm talking and badly going through this, you can see stuff about the characters. Tap Dance is a character I came up with, and I actually can't wait to introduce that character once I get to this point in the story. But yeah, I am. See, I gave Professor Baker a different name here compared to the name he has in Chantrice's anthology. I think I call him Golden Eagle there. But there's a reason for this name change. Professor Baker, I think I might have already told people that he was what you call a Haliax Day. He was one of those, which is a alien race of bird people that can transform into a human form. God damn, I fucked that word up. But he's going to end up developing powers outside of the abilities he already has. This is a Haliaxtian. But again, that's still something I'm working on. So let's see. Let me go to um yeah, this is the All-Star Action Pack Amateur Pack. These are the planned arcs and volumes. The main characters. Now see, this team right here is supposed to be like my Doom Patrol or my Suicide Squad. It's a team of misfits, thrown together. Another inspiration is the Legends, from Legends of Tomorrow. Where am I at right now? God damn, I didn't know I was talking that long. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up in a little bit because I kind of have just been blah 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 blah. So, you know, this is something that I'm really passionate about, though. The All Star Action Pack Amateur Pack. I am really passionate about this one, because it allows me to be really really goofy. It's the same thing with Dexter's anthology. It allows me to be goofy also, whereas I try to keep the goofiness to a minimum when it comes to Vigilance or even Chantrice from the East. Like, I have some situations that are, goofy, hilarious, whatever. But for the most part, I try to keep that stuff a little bit more grounded. Even with the comedy, I try to keep that grounded. But the Awesomatic Adventures of Dexter Seagrave and the All Star Action Pack Amateur Pack, those two series allow me to really just go out there and be really, really, like I said, goofy. Sometimes come up with some shit that might be just stupid as fuck. But it's another avenue. It's kind of cathartic. And I can just let myself go. So it's one of those things that I actually figured I wanted to turn into a comic book after I do finish the first book. Because it's something else that would work better if I could draw, all the stuff out instead of writing. Let's see. I wanted to show some of the characters off. I'll probably do that another time. I'll go ahead and end this video, and then I'll make another one once I kind of have my mind together. Because like I said, right now I'm a little bit drowsy, and I keep spacing out, blanking out, because I was about to fall asleep earlier, and then my cousin called me and was talking to me, and I almost fell asleep while talking to him. So, because I should have did this earlier today when I actually had the energy. But anyway, for right now, I'm going to end this. And like I said, I'll do another update because I got more stuff to talk about and discuss and things that I've put on hold, and some stuff that might not ever be finished. And I want to let people know that, there are things that I'm just never going to get a chance to complete or probably don't want to complete because I just don't have the energy for them anymore or the interest in it. But yeah, that's it for right now. I'm out.